Hi everyone and welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Guppy with my better half, Joe Guppy, and we are at Alki Beach in West Seattle, thus this nautical stripy thing I have going on here. Now this is where the Denny Party, not to be confused with the Donner Party, very different outcome there, but the Denny Party in 1851 settled here. Now Alki is also where Spud's Fish and Chips settled in 1935, and we'll be stopping by that story joint a little later in the show. Okay, we've got a great lineup of art for you, including music from Christy McWilson and the West Seattle Three, Jacob Lawrence and William Cumming at Woodside Braceth Gallery, and a new novel from Robert Horton. We'll begin with the mega-talented Pat Cashman. Now, Pat has worn many creative hats in his illustrious career: radio host, MC, auctioneer, but is best remembered as a cast member of King TV's late-night sketch comedy show Almost Live, which is where I worked with Pat for over a decade. Now, Pat recently launched Almost Live, Still Alive, a podcast featuring interviews with the writers and performers who created the show, and we caught up via Zoom to talk about the podcast and to reminisce about them good old days.
Well, let's get to this here, Mr. Cashman. Congratulations on your podcast.
It's Almost Live. Still Alive.
It's alive!
So what made you want to do Almost Live, Still Alive? Where did this idea come from?
Rather than do a round robin, which I think we have done some events and everybody's chiming in, and my idea was that I wanted to just talk to each individual person per episode. I want to hear their voices. I want to hear what their favorite bits were, what their least favorite was, what was cool, what was embarrassing. And my fundamental question, as it all comes to a crescendo, each interview, is, do you think you would be where you are now if it hadn't been for your time on Almost Live? And I'm kind of begging the question because I usually know the answer, and it's no. No, I don't think so. Even Bill Nye acknowledges that he wouldn't be Bill Nye the Science Guy if it hadn't started with Almost Live.
Now, you were with Almost Live from pretty much the beginning, around 1984. How did you get involved with the show?
The show actually began in 1911. It was silent in those days, and black and white, of course. And they undercranked the camera, so it looked like I was walking real fast all the time. But when it finally reached television in 1984, we call those previous years the experimental years. In 1984, it began, but I was just sort of most casually involved because I had another full-time position at the TV station where the show originated, King TV.
You did marketing?
Yes, it was in marketing. And again, I'm sorry, but that's what I did. So but you know, I'm a big comedy fan. I always was. I had this huge stack of comedy albums from Jonathan Winters to George Carlin, Robert Klein, every comedy album I had to have. And so I just couldn't help but kind of look around the corner and see what's going on down there at Almost Live, but not involved with it. It just sort of slowly evolved.
Let's see you stop this one.
They came out of the gate ablaze and then realized how hard it was to come up with comedy stuff every week. It's really hard. Pretty soon, anybody that looked like they could stick a mirror up to their nose and it was fogging up, they said, "Hey, would you like to do something on the show?" And they asked me, and so I sort of stuck my toe in the water, so it was a very gradual process for me, but I was pretty hooked.
You, by your own admission, like to do things your own way. You like creative autonomy, and yet we had to pitch your ideas to the group. So tell me about how pitch meetings were for you at Almost Live.
Well, I drug my feet. I had, for a period of time in the latter years, I had a radio career as well. So I did morning radio. So pitch meetings, when they would begin around 10 a.m., maybe something like that. So I just dawdle. I'd take my sweet time getting there. And I had that ostensible excuse. Well, I got this radio show. Bill Stainton, the producer, so I probably won't be there on time, but go ahead and start without me. And sometimes I'd hover around the corner listening. Well, I guess that's about it for this meeting. Then I'd come walking in. Hey, did I miss it? Oh, shoot. Well, and then maybe I'd turn in some copy or something. I found it excruciating. Mm-hmm. I guess the fear of rejection, or not even rejection, but just a lukewarm reception. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's your idea? Mm-hmm, that's good. Well, maybe you can pull it off. Ooh. Hey, it's lunchtime. We got to go.
So yeah, those pitch meetings were a little bit, they were challenging to say the least at times.
Some people thrived on them. They loved them. That just wasn't me.
Right. Well, and the thing is, you created so many great bits.
From Gastropod Pictures. When the air shift ends, his real job begins. He's DJ Waiter.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the restaurant. I'm your server tonight, Randy Scott. It's about 68 degrees.
And next to it, let's put a smaller window, but not too small. It's a bathroom window. Still big enough that we can look right into it.
Some of your pieces, of course, were scripted, but often your ideas were not written out, which meant that a lot of the dialogue or most of it was improvised. Plumber is a great example of that. So how did you approach collaboration on the show when you had an idea, but it wasn't perfectly fleshed out?
Tonight's episode, Plunge into Fear.
I love bringing other people in. I guess a natural collaborator. Whether you're making a piece of pottery or a TV sketch, it's going to be better because other people were invested in it, working.
Look, you can stay out here, and you can whine, and you can cry, and you can blubber like a baby. Okay. Or you can get in there and help me unclog that sink. What's it gonna be, Billy?
What, can't I just stay out here for this one job?
Yeah, you can stay out here for this job. And then what's it gonna be next time, Billy Piper? Some leaky faucet? Or a broken washer? Or maybe some crumbling caulking around the tub? What's it gonna be, Billy?
Now, as you say that, I don't remember that I didn't have things scripted. I thought I was really well prepared, but...
No, you weren't at all.
No, I wasn't. The only thing I ever really am proudest of, can I tell you what it is?
Absolutely.
Okay, here it is. It was your bit.
I've got a clear shot. Are you sure? I'm positive.
But it was a guy that was the cross-eyed cop.
Harvey Kane, the cross-eyed cop.
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
And you said, the only thing is I don't have an ending for it. And so, and maybe you remember it differently, but I said, why don't we have him fall off a building at the end of the bit? And when he wakes up, his eyes will be straight.
Yes.
And then we closed with the title, Harvey Kane, Cop. It didn't say cross-eyed anymore. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
It was a dumb ending, but it got us out of it.
It was the perfect ending. I mean, that's like the perfect capper. It takes it one more step, you know?
And it was another one of those bits where we were able to throw a dummy off the roof of King TV, which we did countless times. You think you'd only have to do it once, right? Because a dummy's a dummy, but no, we did it all the time. That's the kind of reckless show it was.
Yep.
And maybe we were in our 20s and 30s, but it really was a show being done by a bunch of kids.
Absolutely.
You know,
And it was a beloved show. A lot of people did know about it, so we were able to get away with a lot. Like when we shut down I-5 to shoot a jet guy, they gave us permission to shut down the freeway. I mean, what can you say?
If you ask most casual people on the street, name one bit of your favorite bits, they'll inevitably say jet guy.
Jet guy.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Almost Live bit?
Well, the one I get the most comment on is called Roscoe's Oriental Rug Emporium.
At Roscoe's Oriental Rug Emporium, we're saying goodbye. We're closing our store forever.
It was just an observation. I'm walking through Pike Place Market, and I look, how come these rug places are always closing, but then I come back a year later and they're still there, but they say they're about to close. And that's all there was to the premise.
Real deal this time. We're hitting the bricks, gonna mosey, gonna sashay, gonna clear out, vamoose, saying adios, ciao, Wiedersehen, sayonara, au revoir, hasta luego, Godspeed, until we meet again, which we won't, because Roscoe's Oriental Rug Emporium is closing forever. We're never coming.
So Almost Live, it ran for, I think it was 15 seasons and won over 100, I'm sure, Emmy Awards, local Emmys. Why do you think the show had such staying power and still is still very fondly thought of?
First of all, there was no other show like it. We weren't competing with another local sketch comedy show, so there was that. And this show was brought back from like Lazarus more than once. I mean, it was so imminently going to be canceled that it was frightening. And it happened again and again and again. And it took a long time to find its footing and to find its audience. Yeah. And then it sort of emboldened the people that were on the show to write better, to perform better.
Here at the Ballard Driving Academy.
And it is of course, the localness of the show that made it popular to Seattle people because it was their show.
Welcome to the Ballard Driving Academy.
Thank you.
All right, now before we start, please adjust your seatbelt. Okay, good.
Well, Pat, I'm so glad that you've made this podcast. It really is fun to hear everyone's memories of the show, and it's very pleasing to remember that magical time. I feel so lucky to have been part of it. So I'm really...
Me too. And it's a chance for me putting these together and hopefully for people listening to relive it all again. Was it a perfect show? Yes, actually, yes, it was. But no, it wasn't. You know, you only remember the hits you got and not all the times you strike out. But
yeah,
on balance, I'd say the batting average was pretty good, especially in its latter years.
I completely agree, I'm with you. Was it perfect? No, there was plenty of bad stuff for sure, and I wrote my share of that. That said, there was enough good, right? So it's, you're just throwing all sorts of spaghetti at the wall and
yeah. So maybe 100 bits are lousy, but one is good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's something to aim for, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, thanks, Patrick.
Thank you, Nance.
See you.
We're closing forever. Any day now. Could be a matter of weeks, days, maybe tomorrow. But then, that's it. Roscoe's Oriental Rug Emporium. Going out of business since 1957.
Check out Pat's Almost Live, Still Alive podcast at almostlivestillalive.com. Our musical guest this week is Christy McWilson and the West Seattle Three, performing their as yet unreleased original tune, Good Guys Win. Yeah!
Ready, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what makes the world go round. Surely not by mockery, lies, and shutting people down. Well, I've been on the sidelines, now I'm rolling up my sleeves. And though you try my size, I really do believe me.
keep up with Christy McWilson and the West Seattle 3 on Facebook. Hey, we are here at Woodside Braseth Gallery. There's the little banner up there on the window. Established in 1961. The gallery is run now by John Braceth, and it's one of my favorite galleries. Really great artists and a really good vibe, a very welcoming, friendly vibe. So we're gonna go in, swing through, look at some great art. Come on. Okay, so this is an artist, Jared Rue, and I think this is gorgeous. What's on? It's like oil, aluminum spray paint, all this great material. It's just illuminating. It's very just shimmering. I find it to be very calming. Like this almost looks like a negative, you know, a negative from a photo. Just absolutely beautiful. And of course the mountain here. This is very, very northwest. All right, over here, Paul Horiuchi, famous artist, Northwest artist, and this is a collage, mixed media on canvas. You can see that if you get close, you can see the paper there, you know, ripped or cut, and then the paint is just beautifully put together. Of course, the colors are very, very Northwest as well. And this, Guy Anderson, another master artist, Northwest artist, and this piece here is Man Reading with Still Life. Again, just beautiful. I love the bigness of it and those colors, very autumn, you know, very autumn colors. It's like artichokes or, I don't know, like a pumpkin, I suppose, you know, or squash. Yeah, from a garden. All right, over here, Joseph Goldberg and a couple of really great pieces. I was drawn to this one because I like that it's obviously it's a tree that's been cut. I don't know how many rings it is. What's it called here? Inside wall, encaustic on linen. So encaustic is like wax over paint, I believe. I don't know all the details of that, but it's just very layered, very beautiful. The colors are muted, and yet they have a beautiful pop too, a beautiful kind of peachy vibe. So down here, and there is Mr. John Braceth, everybody. Woohoo! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, John, so we've been going through some stuff, and this is William Cumming. Now, lots of William Cumming in the gallery right now. This is the piece de résistance. I like to say that phrase. It's a mural from when?
1941.
1941, and it was found where?
In the Skagit Valley, at the Skagit Valley Fair. It was identified.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew it was lost, except for the artist,
Yeah.
William Cumming. He suggested it might have been burned in a fire, but can figure out why a big painting 28 feet long by 8 feet high went missing.
Yeah.
And then he passed away in 2010, and it was found and identified in 2014, and it was just finished being restored after 6 years.
It's so beautiful, and it was so 1941, so kind of a WPA kind of a vibe to it, right? Right. Wow. Patty Holler, and this is lovely, oil on panel, and again, just that very to me anyway, kind of a Northwest outdoor vibe, very nature.
Yeah, absolutely. But with all the different reflections of lighter colors, which you don't often see.
Yeah.
And there's the thing that's fascinating to me about her paintings is she uses negative space as positive space. So really where the holes of color, that's where the light is and the movement. So yeah, she's a brand new addition to this old gallery. So we're excited.
Yeah, it's nice to have new
new
blood, yeah?
New blood.
All right, this piece over here, this is Kenneth Callahan, another huge name, master artist, and this piece, the gorge or the Granite Falls area, and when I look at this piece, I love the colors. It's very vibrant, it's very dark, and yet getting close, and there's this little touch of red. There's something about that.
It's hope.
It's hope. That's a great way to put it. It's thrilling. How do you say Gloria? How do you say her last name?
Gloria DiArchangelis.
Okay, Gloria DiArchangelis. And so, how do you say the chiaroscuro?
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Yes, her painting technique. But
which is layers and layers and layers.
And layers of oils, paint, and transparent at times. And so there's a tremendous buildup of layers of oil paint.
I mean, just look at it is kind of hyper real.
It is.
And then look down at the feet, because the shape of the toes, and John, you pointed this out earlier, there's a curve to them. That is what feet look like. The weird little toes. We all have weird little toes that none of us want anyone to see. And this is a Jacob Lawrence painting, not a print, and it's not as it's actually kind of an unusual, right?
This is a 1960 painting. It's a Harlem experience. There were these carts made of, they were shaved ice for kids. And so you see all the different flavors around, and you see all the kids looking up.
And that's the ice.
And the man shaving with those powerful, powerful arms, shaving the ice.
Yes.
Up above is the umbrella of the cart, and that's attached are those bells. So when you move the cart, there were 4 wheels.
And it would ding.
So just like,
And people would like,
it
it's
was
like
the ice cream
it's like
cart
the,
of its
the
day,
little
right?
Joe the ice cream
Right,
cart
exactly.
here. And then of course they're all having a great time with their little hoops and eating their little ices, and it's just capturing a great summer moment. And we're going to end with this artist, Melee Young, new to the gallery. And this piece here, it's called This Generous Moment 1.4. Love the title. And I'm a gigantic fan of dots. I'm a real big fan of bubbles. And this, to me, it's like an effervescent, bubbly little soda. Like you're sitting on a chair, your feet are up on a footstool, you're just leaning back and enjoying life. That's what this painting does for me. It makes me feel good about the world. And good Lord, we need that. So that is it for our little whirlwind tour. I'm so glad you joined me. And oh my God, this is a Guy Anderson. Okay, next time. This is next time. Woodside Braceth Gallery is open Tuesday through Saturday, and that fabulous William Cumming mural will be up through October 7th. More information is at woodsidebracethgallery.com. Robert Horton is a renowned film critic and author who has written books on Frankenstein, the director Billy Wilder, and co-authored the zombie Western graphic novel Rotten. Robert has published a new novel titled Hateful Deeds, which he describes as Dr. Strangelove meets the Manchurian Candidate. Here's Mr. Horton with an intriguing excerpt.
Campaign advisor Tad Van Gerp stood in the stadium at Red Bull Total Zero New Columbine High School. Linton Goodfellow, the GOP presidential candidate, had been campaigning nearby when news of the latest school shooting broke. Their happy luck had held all the way down the line. The massacre itself had not extended past the front doors of the school building, so the stadium was available for tonight's rally. Van Gerp saw Goodfellow ambling over. Goodfellow never moved quicker than an amble, something he said his pappy had told him about. He was 6'3", and Tad Van Gerp hated tall people. He was 5 feet 6 1/4 inches himself. That was really normal height. But if you're standing around Linton Goodfellow, of course you look smallish. Goodfellow always called him Niblet, a stupid nickname that didn't make any sense because Tad was of normal height. Goodfellow clapped a hand on Tad's back. "What say you, Niblet?" he said. "It's all good," said Tad Van Gerp.
Hateful Deeds is available as a download on Kindle, and you can learn more about Robert at roberthorton.wordpress.com. Also, Robert hosts Scarecrow Video's terrific series, The Art in Horror, Horror and the Director. So if scary movies are your jam, you want to join Robert for an online discussion of John Carpenter's 1982 classic, The Thing, on Saturday, September 26th at 2 p.m. Finally, we want to give a shout out to Dawn Cerney, the winner of Seattle Art Museum's 2020 Betty Bowen Award. This prestigious prize includes cash and a solo exhibition at SAM in 2021. Way to go, Dawn! And that's a wrap, which is code for time to eat Spud's Fish and Chips. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Wow, so good.
This is classic. I love it. Okay, now wait a minute. Why did you get 2 pieces and I only got 1?
Well, you always only want 1 piece.
But you didn't ask me this time, did you? What if I want 2?
Well, you always say that 2 is like too much food.
Yeah, too much food. Well, guess what? Even though I know I won't want half of that, I get to have half of it because you didn't ask me. So I'm just going to overeat to make my point.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's logical. Okay.
Do you think I'm petty?
I mean, 2 really is kind of too much food anyway. So.
Or do you think I'm petty?
Yeah, you can be, You can be very, very petty, actually. Yeah, extremely petty, now that you mention it. Yeah.
I don't know why I love it when I ask you horrible things about myself and you agree, and so calmly, just so matter-of-factly, because it's true. I am petty. Okay, I'm not going to eat that second half, or the half of your second piece. That's too weird of me.